What about Final Appeal?
And Final Appeal is another judge, and that's really the judge crush. I mean, she, a law clerk falls for her boss, who's a judge. They have a, can you say it's a torrid affair if it's only one night? Well, they have a brief affair. And he ends up dead the next morning. And she is trying to understand who killed him and why, and as Final Appeal progresses, learns a lot about the man she thought she loved and things that she didn't know, and almost ends up getting killed, but manages to take care of her kid at the same time. Final Appeal I liked because I wanted to explore, I think single mothers have a lot of resilience. I think you have to. I was one for 10 years. You know, you spend the first 2 years going, I wish somebody would clean my gutters, and then you spend the third going, I guess I better get a ladder. And I'm afraid of heights, and that was sort of a big thing for me. I just thought, I'm going to use this. It's terrible when you become a novelist. You know, you use everything, you canalize your life. But I thought, you put a single mother in a situation like that, and she's going to start to act. She doesn't have a gun. She's got a flashlight with Disney characters on it, but she's got a lot of common sense and a lot of moxie, and I wanted to use that.
And now that you've just remarried, in fact, you're practically still on the honeymoon stage, it'll be interesting to see how that creeps into your next book.
Yeah, right. God, I hope it lasts. That's all I have to say.
We were talking yesterday when you and I were chatting about why is it that lawyers write so many books? And I put up the very simple theory, which I think has some basis in fact, that the reason that lawyers and cops write so many mysteries is because they have such great stories to tell. There's the nature of the work presents you with a constant stream of plot ideas in stories.
I think that's true.
Do you think
I'm really happy to hear you say that, because I think that is the reason. I don't think it's that they hated what they were doing or any other reason. They're terrific stories, and they're dramatic stories. I mean, why I liked being a lawyer was that I had drama. I mean, you won and lost. There's a jury looking at you. There's a client watching. Money exchanges hands. People go to prison. Dramatic stuff. Well, of course you'd use that.
And I also put forth the theory that maybe the reason that judges don't write mysteries is because judicial discretion and the whole nature of their work pretty much precludes them from telling the same kinds of stories.
That's probably right.
That lawyers and so forth are under no constraint. So
yeah.
I think the only, I'm trying to remember, Cyril Hare.
Joe Torres, too.
And Joe Torres, yeah. But there have been, comparatively speaking, very few judges.
Well, maybe we'll encourage them. Judges, pick up your pens.
This is true. And now we can have the bailiff and the court reporter and the great, we were talking about that yesterday. Everyone connected with legal process.
Good. Everybody should write books. That's
well, or they're going to be the title or the lead character. You know, it's going to be the court reporter and the this or the that. But people are interested in the legal system. Do you have an explanation for that? Or you think it's just because we've all seen it? Well, I think we're taken out of the arcane and brought down to the everyday level.
I think
with television.
That's true, and I think we are starting to understand the impact it has on us. We used to think criminal justice was something that bad guys had to be worried about, and now we get mugged, or now we see OJ, or we are much more aware. We're altogether more sophisticated than we used to be.
And also the language has simplified. You don't need to know Old French or vulgar Latin to understand legal terms. Everything has been brought more into the vernacular, more accessible.
That's right.
And I also think that a lot of people think they could be a lawyer. You know, they could do that. It's hard to think you could be a brain surgeon in a medical mystery, but it isn't so far off to think, gosh, I could get up and argue that case, or I could do this or that.
Which is true, and I think which is also great for people like me, because I really want people to identify with the main character in the book or other characters in the book and say, if I were in that position, that's what I'd do. And so you don't want a character that's going to be distant and magisterial, judge-like. You want, you know, the lady down the street or the guy across the street. You really do, I think.
And so you probably are going to be happy continuing to write the kind of books you do, and they're probably going to work well.
I hope so. I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's excellent. Have you thought about short stories at all?
I don't think I can get to the point that quickly.
Or cut
As anyone who's watched this interview,
yes.
You can't shut her up. I don't. No, I don't think I will. I don't think I have the skill for it. I need about 25 minutes to talk. I'm Italian. You know, it's not possible.
Well, I do think one of the charms of your book, as I said earlier, is the pace and the dialogue, and the fact that you do have, I think, there's sort of a momentum that with every book that you write, that when you pick it up and get into it, it carries you right along. It's very difficult to read one of your books and put it down and come back to it. There are
that's-
lots of
I
books where
hope
you can
that's true.
take leisure breaks, but I don't think they work out very
No,
well.
I don't want anybody to put them
In your
down.
case.
I
And
don't want
also
them to
you
keep
have,
reading.
and I know you and I both know her well, you have an editor you really like at HarperCollins.
Carolyn Marino.
And you've been very well off, I think, and very well served
Well,
by
she loves
Carolyn.
books. I mean, to me, everyone, it really has to happen on the printed page. And if you keep your focus really narrow, and that's what I do, I just try to write a great book. She wants me to write the best book I can write. And so her suggestions are always, she's not going to fuss over the sentences. I think sometimes people think that. The editor will put a semicolon in, or the editor won't let you say that, or won't let you have a sex scene or whatever. But that's not what she does. She says, I want to see more of the family. Or it starts off too slow. Get her moving. Get him moving. Make him do something. In Final Appeal, she had a wonderful suggestion. Of all things, I had a shopping scene. And the character walked around, they were working on a murder, but they're shopping. I mean, this isn't a world, to me anyway, where you do one thing at one time. You're always doing something. All my characters, if you're in the kitchen, if you're in the office, you're doing more than one thing. And I took it out because I said, I don't want to have a shopping scene in a legal thriller. It just seemed so dopey. And she said, trust me on this. Put the shopping scene back in. I said, all right, fine. Put it back in. Okay, all the letters I get. I love that shopping scene. I go, but she jumped over a cart. No, I don't care. She was in Laura Ashley.
Well, you've been very well served by Carolyn.
I think
and
I have.
certainly you have served us very well by coming in for your interview
Oh,
today.
thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
very much, Lisa. We hope to see you back in Scottsdale
Oh, I'd love
before
to.
long.
Yeah, it's warm.
And we hope that we will be bringing you this winter some other authors for the criminal calendar who will be as lively and fun as Lisa. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.